Hi everyone, it's Jess and today I thought I would bring you my June wrap up. Yeah, I thought I would bring this video, so let's get into it. So I managed to finish five books. I've got everything written down here, so 5 books in the month of June, which I am really proud of myself for. So these were actually 4 books and 1 graphic novel, and then I'm currently reading like 3 as well. So this was a really good reading month for me. So yeah, I'm just really proud of myself. So the first book that I actually finished was Eliza and Her Monsters, and I have been reading this, no, I didn't read this as a buddy read, I just read this sort of on my own. So I just finished Akatar, was reading Akamath, and I just didn't really feel like I wanted to read much else. I didn't kind of want to get into like a book slump after reading them, and I'm always someone who reads lots of books at once. So I thought I would pick this up as soon as I saw it in my Outcrate box. I was really looking forward to it, and I'm so glad that I picked it up because it just kind of got me back into reading things that weren't sort of like Akatar and Akamath, etc. So I'm really glad that I picked this up, and it's just an amazing novel and just kind of whisks you away. It does deal with some hard kind of like subjects in the book, yeah, I did actually cry reading this book twice, and I did actually almost cry on the bus as well, which was just horrendous. And this book made one of my days. I was just like completely messed up because I was just so immersed in it that I actually turned up to work like an hour early, and then had to go to the park and read this and have my lunch. So yeah, this book, like, just, yeah, I just got so wrapped up in it, and it has like another format as well, so you can see like text and all that kind of stuff. So I would definitely recommend this book to everybody. And the second book that I finished in the month of June was Finding Violet Park by Jenny Valentine. So this is a book that I've had since I was really young, and I just never read it. So it's one of those books that I just had to buy because I got like a book voucher or something, and picked it up. I think I bought it because I really liked the cover at the time, which I still do obviously. I did start reading this a while ago and put it down and just didn't pick it up. I had like 100 odd pages left. It's not even a long book itself, so I thought I'd just finish this month, and I did really enjoy it, and it was just a really good ending to the story, and it just kind of wrapped everything up. So I did actually really enjoy this one. And the third book that I read was the graphic novel, which was this one, Summer, and I'll put a picture of it here because I didn't actually read like the physical copy. I borrowed it from this app called Overdrive, which connects to your local library, and I just read this whilst I was at home. Didn't take me very long. I didn't actually enjoy this book too well. So it's kind of about some young teenagers who are on holiday. They go on holiday there every year, and it kind of deals with some kind of like hard subjects again as well, and I just think the way that it dealt with it just wasn't very good. And also I just felt like the characters were just too young for the story, and it just made me feel really uncomfortable, and I just really didn't enjoy it. And I think I gave it like 2.5 stars. I just really didn't like it. Luckily it was just a graphic novel and it didn't take me that long, but yeah. And then the fourth book that I finished in the month of June was A Court of Mist and Fury. So as everybody knows by now probably, I was buddy reading this with Jade, and we're now reading Akabor, and oh my god, this book is just so many feels in so many ways, and I'm so glad that I read this. Obviously I was going to read it because I was reading them all with Jade, but I think after the first one I was like, you know what, I'm quite happy. Like it could be a standalone on its own, the first one, and it kind of like wraps everything up kind of nicely, but I'm so glad that I read this book. This is just, it's just perfect in like every way. This is a book that kind of like, the romance is really good, obviously everybody knows, but yeah, I just really enjoyed it, and I don't think I would take back like reading this. I just really enjoyed it, and I think everybody should read it. And the fifth book that I read in the month of June was The Upside of Undone. I finished this on the 30th, which is why this wrap up is kind of going up a bit late, because I wanted to finish this by the end of the month, and I actually did. So I was buddy reading this with Penny from Penny and Books, and I really just enjoyed this one. I think I gave it, yeah, 4 stars. It wasn't perfect. I think it was just a bit slow. There wasn't much story going on. Towards the end it did, and kind of like everything made sense as to why the story was kind of telling you these things, but it was just a bit, it wasn't exciting, which is why I had to knock it down. I did really like how diverse it was, and it was just a really simple, easy read, and it didn't take me that long, and I could have read it all like in one sitting if I wasn't buddy reading it. And actually yeah, I kind of was buddy reading it but always kept jumping ahead of Penny because I'm a terrible person. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one, but just not as much as I was hoping, I suppose. It was just a bit flat in places, I think. I think I like contemporary, but I just prefer fantasy more, as it's just more interesting, and I think that was probably why. So my 3 currently reading books at the end of this month are Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, so I picked this up during the month, and I think I'm like almost halfway through now. I'm definitely going to be finishing that next month. I think I might read them all. I haven't really decided yet. But I don't know, just fancy picking them up, as it has been 20 years since Harry Potter, the first book, has been published. So yeah, I just was really inspired to just pick it up, and Harry Potter has kind of taken over my life a little bit more than it already was. So yeah, and then the other book was A Game of Thrones, and I didn't actually read any of that this month, I don't think, but I'm still currently in it and I haven't DNF'd it. I do plan on reading it. Yeah, as I've kind of spoken about on my channel before, I can put books down for a while and pick them up and still remember where I left off after a couple of chapters. Yeah, I do plan on picking it back up. It's just a big book, and I don't know, I need to find some time, I think, to read it, but there's just so many other books on my shelves that I just really want to read first. So yeah. Finally is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, and I'm having troubles with this book. Jade said that I should try and read to page 100 if I can. I think I'm at like page 50 now, and it's just slow at the start, and I'm just not loving it as much as I was. When I first started it, I really enjoyed it, and I read a few chapters and it was just really gripping me, but like now I don't really know. I think it's just because there's other books that I'm reading which are more interesting maybe, but I'm going to try and stick it out and try and read it. I haven't DNF'd it yet, but I'm getting kind of close, but I'm going to try and stick at it and keep going. So yeah. So that is all the books that I have read this month. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I shall see you soon in another video, and as always I'll talk to you down in the comments. Until then, bye guys.